Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 4.
Gamers versus the system.
We're still doing this on it's
We're
crazy.
not stopping.
We're not. We're really not. So I hope you guys are used to this. This is gonna be the new normal.
All right, yo, this is great. We back again, here to talk about the craziness, the good shit, the gaming,
And anything else that comes up in our fucked up brains. That's just how it goes.
For sure. So yeah.
How are you, Cetty? What's going on?
I'm good, man. Like, a lot of good things have been happening recently. I'm trying to make games. I myself am a game designer. I have a small indie studio that's a startup. It's in the startup phase. It's called Apex Games. For anyone that I haven't, this is shameless self promotion right now. Okay. But yes, I am the founder of Apex Games, and recently we won a small grant for the business, which I'm stoked about. I'm very happy about.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Like, it really does feel like some of this shit that I'm doing is starting to pay off. It's great.
What have I been saying? Time and pressure, man. We're doing this.
I know, man. It's crazy, but yeah. So we won that little micro grant, which was awesome, and we are in talks right now with an esports kind of entity that is looking for more games for its platform. So we might be very close to seeing something being created here. So fingers crossed and all that. So yeah, that's my news. What's new with you, bro?
Well, first off, congratulations again on that. That's awesome. I didn't hear about the esport thing till just now, so that's
keeping this a surprise for the show.
I like it. I like it. That's awesome. For me, man, things are great for me for the most part. I just got my dad's ring back from the jewelers. I had to the band in the back snapped or whatever. You know how that shit works sometimes with rings. And then I had it patched up, and it took about like a week. And I wasn't wearing it for a little while because I was like, just trying to get the time to make it to the jewelers. But I finally have it back on, and I hate to sound like a fucking like total nerd gamer guy, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel complete with it now. You know what I mean? I feel back to normal almost.
That ring of power is back. You needed that, okay?
Well, it's more so like my dad's ring and like he showed me a bunch of fuck it, I'll talk about that for the games later. But for it's like when you're playing it, I know we fucking suck Bethesda's dick on every podcast we fucking got. But like fucking, when you put on like the ring or all right, fine, Dungeons and Dragons, even better because fuck Bethesda. Even though I'm gonna talk about them later, but. For D&D, it's like you put on your ring of courage, or you have that inventory item that's like a magic. And I feel like for this ring, my dad's spirit is like in it, and it's like gives me the extra balls to go forward and get shit done. And I put it back on, and then I went and do some errands, and shit was great. I got it resized so it actually fits my finger now.
Nice.
So, yeah, so it's great.
It's back where it should be. That's good. It's always good.
Yeah, and then I went to go see a doctor about my stomach issues, and at first I was like, wow, this guy's kind of an asshole, but I actually kind of like him now because
really,
yeah, because he was one of those guys that just he walked in and he already pretty much knew what was going on before, you know what I mean? Because he was just my mother was like, what a cocky asshole. And I'm just like, well, I kind of get it, like. Hi Mabel. He's been working in his field for so goddamn long. There's only an X amount of things it could be when someone comes in for their gut shit. You know what I mean? And based on what he knows and what he found out, he was like, okay, this isn't serious. And even if it is, his cocky asshole not giving a fuckness, I needed that because that little false sense of security, it could do wonders. Because I went to the hospital, I went to my my primary, and they're all like, taking it serious and this is that, blah, blah. And that got me kind of worried. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? But he was like, fuck it. Who gives a fuck? You're being a pussy probably, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I need that type of fucking doctor in my life. So I'm probably going to go back to him.
I don't know if that's like good healthcare or bad healthcare. I'm not sure.
Hey, for me, just tell me sweet little lies to get me to keep doing what I got to do. You know what I mean? Nice. Like, I'm all about it.
All right, that's cool though. It's good that he was able to help you out. I'm glad to hear that, man.
Ooh, Mabel, why are you being a bitch? Here.
What's the puppy doing?
She's just
What
rolling
the
around,
dog doing?
growling. Yeah, just rolling
Sorry,
around, growling.
I'm fucking addicted to memes. I apologize. Sorry,
It's
everyone.
all right. Where's your soundboard? Are we still doing that for this episode?
I don't know, man. I kind of felt like the sound quality was really low. I want to wait until I have a better way to fucking do it. Like, I'd still have it, trust me. Like, I just play with it every now and then because I'm a nerd. But
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I don't know. It might pop up. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into the first roll, let me just say congratulations to all of our listeners across the world now, which is crazy.
Are we
You know,
growing? Are
well,
we
yeah,
growing?
I was looking at the downloads by location. You know, they give you all those analytics when you start a podcast, and before it only showed me like the U.S. and it only showed me like the small subsection of the U.S. that we were mostly in. You know, but now, you know, there's tiny dots, but there's a dot in the U.K. There's a dot. It looks like Germany. There's
Oh
a dot in
shit.
India, and there's a Southeast
Oh
Asia at some
shit.
point. And I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. I'm happy. And then you know, also parts around the country are lighting up too. So I'm
Yo,
ecstatic, man. This
look
is
at
great.
that. Guys, thank you. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you. This is great.
Holy
We're
shit.
loving life right now. So
This is awesome, dude.
yeah. So
I
this is a
mean,
new hope
look,
for us all.
I feel like humble beginnings, you got to start somewhere. So just start. Just start and see where it goes.
Yes. And speaking of just starting, fuck.
Oh, snap. Was that the first roll?
Yes, but I mean, it's fine. 6 on this one.
Okay.
It didn't make a nice noise. I just kind of lobbed it over. 6 is place you would like to go and never go again.
Oh, okay. I guess that's an interesting one. Um, is it like? Wait, let me see. What does it say?
Place you'd like to
Like to
go
go.
and never want to go again. So like you
Oh,
want to go there once, but you don't want to like live there or something, I guess, right?
sure,
Like a
sure.
little vacation
A good vacation destination. I don't know. Is there somewhere that you've always wanted to travel to?
and never go again? Yeah.
All right. Well, what is it?
Hell.
What? Oh no! Really? We're going with fictional locations now.
Well, okay, fine. If you really want to, I just
No,
want to see
no, no! I want to hear what you got to say about going to hell one time. What do you think? What do you think is gonna happen? I mean, what do you think you're gonna see? Oh wow! I
Well,
was
it's
not expecting
more
it.
so just like I really do. I have that fucking big injustice boner. You know what I mean? Where it's like I
Hmm.
fucking hate seeing all the bullshit, hate seeing all the fucked up shit in the world. You know, I got that shouting into the void type fucking mentality of like I just want everything to be better, but like you know, it's bullshit. But like you know, if I'm dead, you know, and I do enough good on this earth because you know I used to be a Catholic. I say I'm a lapsed Catholic, which is you know I grew up in the Roman legions, and now you know well that's how it was Catholic school, little Roman legions as my dad would say.
It's
So yeah,
funny.
no, I would if I did enough good on this earth, I feel like you know fuck it, whatever the fuck it says, it doesn't really matter. If you just do good, that's gonna get you to whatever heaven. But then I would like to like put in a request form, you know, because I know how big entities and institutions work. There's going to be a bureaucracy, so I would be like, all right, God, give me like a day pass to hell, just so I could go in there and kick as much fucking ass as possible. Because it's like
Wow.
I got to do it.
So
I
you're.
just
Let me get this
let me
straight.
loose. Let
Let me
me do my
let
rampage that I've always wanted to do, but let me do it
just
down in hell.
this is your remember this is supposed to be a vacation destination. Your vacation is to doom guy your way through hell. Is that what you're trying to tell
Yes. That would be the best fucking play, and then never do it again because it's like, oh, that was crazy. Never again. But I can fucking say it.
Oh my god! I mean, oh, wow.
Yeah,
That
I would love
is.
to do that shit. And then I get to all my prowess of all the years of learning combat shit, fucking firearms, hand to hand, melee
uh,
shit. Just let me loose. Let me have my own fucking John
just
Wick / Mortal Kombat / fucking medieval Lord of the Rings charge of the Rohirrim into the fucking abyss. You know what I
that
mean? Like
is I
Let
guess
me
that's
do it.
one hell of a vacation destination. That's
Full pun intended.
dude, that's wild. That is hilarious.
Well, it's just
I
off
mean,
the cuff. If you're just thinking about,
no,
yeah, that's one
I
thing.
look. That's sure. I'm here for it, bro. Go to hell and just kick a bunch of demon ass. I mean, that's a gamer mentality right there, man. I gotta say, like we always talk about the gamer, the gaming mentality. Like, who else is just gonna be like, yeah, send me in, send
Yeah,
me in with two loaded guns and
fucking.
some katanas into hell.
Oh my god, yes, yes. Like you said, like if I could walk into a place fully kitted up, full gear, full everything, and I just get to just unload on just some piece of shit demons and some fucked up Hitler motherfuckers, and you know what I mean? Like, fuck the worst people in history. I feel are gonna be down there. So let me give them what I feel like they should have gotten. I'm probably gonna rape most of them.
Oh, we are
Just
canceled for sure now. I know that's
hey, listen, if someone's gonna get on me for wanting to like just stick it in dry to Hitler, like fucking whatever, like if they want to cancel me
oh
for that, cancel
wow.
me for that. But I just want to really give it to the people that I feel like are just disgusting, horrible, unrepentant, just fuckers. Like yeah, that'd be
Right. Gotta
my
sodomize those
place.
sodomites. That's the only way. That's
Give them a taste of
justice.
their own medicine. The justice ain't gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it myself. But but I get to do it in a place where it's okay to do it. It's hell. Can't do it on Earth because there's people here, innocent lives that could get caught in the crossfire, and that's not what we're about here, folks. But
Sure.
if I go to hell, no
Sure.
holds barred. All right.
Yeah. That's the answer, I guess. Do bad things to bad people. Sure. All right. That's that's pretty wild, my man. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I was ready to match that Doom guy into hell energy, but
Not. I mean, like you could actually answer it like credibly and legitimately. You could always take that route, take the high road instead of fucking picking the low hanging fruit like I always go for.
um, I don't know. I was just thinking of a more terrestrial place, but I
Hey,
mean,
that sounds a lot more reasonable because there's a lot of great places in this world that we could go to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I always thought I wanted to go to just to visit. I kind of want to go to Japan. I mean, I know that's the most weeb thing that you can possibly say. I'm exposing myself as a fucking weeb here. I know.
I think by now everyone knows who we are.
That's true.
So I don't
That's
think you
fair.
need to defend your point. They know.
No, no,
They
they
know.
know. They know.
Oh yeah, they could sniff it.
But yeah, I've always wanted to go there just to visit. Like, I don't think I want to live there. I'm sure it's a lovely place, but it just seems like they have such a different culture. I just want to experience that. Fish out of water. I feel like if I go to like the UK, basically shit is like the same. If I go to like, uh, if I would have gone to like South Korea, shit's basically the same. There's a lot of like cultural differences, but for the most part, I think we're basically similar all over the world. But Japan has such a unique, like you can see their culture so well. Like everyone kind of knows what they're about, you know. And it's like, damn, it's just so interesting to see from a distance that I always just wanted to go there and kind of experience it firsthand. Like all the temples they got hanging around, fucking geishas, all the shops that they have there. And it just seems like a really interesting place to visit. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and like you're saying too, like I feel like that is also since you're gonna be a fish out of water, literally, where it's like, okay, this is a completely different culture, where it's like I'm really gonna open myself up to a genuinely new weird experience, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. You know what I mean?
That is something I've always wanted to try. I think, like I said, a lot of the Western world is very homogenous. Like it's kind of like we experience the same kind of shit, and we kind of just go for the same kind of lifestyle. And I don't know. I think Japan has maintained its uniqueness. I'm not sure how or why, but they don't really let a lot of outside influences change up the way that they live. I mean, it's just interesting to me. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just culture blind because I'm American, and a lot of people feel like America is like the world's culture in a way. And a lot of Americans say that we don't have a culture, or it's hard to see your own culture, maybe. But I don't know. I've always wanted to visit there, so that's the one I will go with
That's
because I'm a
awesome,
huge
man.
weeb. Yeah.
There you go. I'm sure we will get that opportunity. I don't know if you want to drag me over there because I'm probably not going to be able to control myself. But
What you mean? What the fuck you?
oh,
This
I'm going to
is
say some off-colored shit right off the bat. Like the first place I would want to go to is like Nagasaki and Hiroshima and just stand
oh
there with like
god,
just fucking Superman posing, being like,
all
"What
right.
up? I'm
This is
American.
this is why we can't take
I
you
did
anywhere. All
this."
right.
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ.
well, that's the reason why they got tentacle porn now because we dropped the sun on them twice. So fuck yeah, baby.
Just wow.
USA. No, it's fine. Don't. Yeah, I know. All right,
Do you
folks.
know?
If anything,
Do
guys,
you?
I do realize that America is literally just like the Empire from Star Wars. Like
Thank you.
if we haven't figured that out yet, folks, like we are not living all the shit we learned in history. The history that we taught growing up in schools. Well, I don't know what they're teaching the kids now, but at least when I was going to school, they were teaching us some fucking bullshit about we came over in the peaceful. No, the Bo Burnham said it best. The world's won on what was it? The rules one on bloodshed and exploitation. It's not sunshine and rainbows. That's how the world got to be the way it is. On bloodshed and exploitation in America, baby, we've done some really fucked up shit. But
For sure.
and that's definitely one of the things that we did because Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they weren't really combatant cities. They were just like
they weren't.
They were just hanging out. We were just like, yeah, no, we're gonna fuck them up real quick.
Yeah, so speaking officially for America, I'm really sorry, Japan. That was fucked up. Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. That was not cool. All right.
Hey, they shouldn't have fucked with our boats.
I don't know.
But also, we shouldn't have fucked up with their supplies because that's why they took our boats. But that's that's just me being a history nerd. We could talk about that stuff on a whole separate episode if we want to do history shit.
I'm sure we could go deep. We could do a deep dive. You could have your whole like college dissertation on World War II.
What was it? Cantrell was saying another side project for the shows might be Bachelors of History would be a really good one. Just a bunch of dude bros that are historians just sitting around shooting the shit about historical bullshit like that. From what we know and what we could say. Because I've learned from a lot of good professors and I've learned from just a lot of good people that told me the stories that aren't in the books, you know what I mean? Because they were so into it. So, I might want to do something like that later on, but fuck it, it's fine.
Maybe. You got a lot
baby
of good
steps,
ideas,
folks. We're doing baby steps. I think that's what's going on. I was really stressed out before and it was kind of getting to me because I was like, oh my God, I got to do this thing. But I'm just kind of not giving a fuck now. Like, we just got to relax. It'll happen. You know what I mean? Look at all.
Let it be what it is. That's the important thing.
I never thought that map would expand to globally, but now I'm looking at the map and it's like, yeah, boo, like it's all there. Holy shit! Just take it easy. I got to talk to myself better. I got to be like, just fucking tranquilo. It's okay. That self-talk shit. You know what I mean? It's I haven't seen a therapist yet, but I'm just fucking all those things that you hear from the socials.
I don't know, man. I kind of want to see one. I might go get my head.
I'd say go. For years, I had that jaded cop mentality where I would just sit there. I ain't fucking go kicking and screaming. I ain't going to fucking therapy. I'll eat my fucking gun before I go fucking see a shrink. God damn it! Yeah, no, that was me before. But sometimes you need it. Because when you spend too much time in your fucking head,
that's true. Especially if you're an overthinker. As someone who's a chronic overthinker, you gotta have that outside perspective. You gotta have people.
Okay, stop attacking me. Stop it.
What? No, I'm talking about myself, sir. Okay, I ain't just talking about you. A lot of people have this problem though, overthinking, where they just get shit in their head and roll with it, and they just can't get it out. And so it can be good to have people to talk to and bounce shit off of. So look, we are very pro mental health here, okay? Like we want people to get better,
sure.
for sure.
For sure.
If you have some issues, take care of them, people. Take care of yourself. Mental health is self care, okay? Just think of it as masturbation. Sometimes you just gotta fucking do it, okay? Like, just get it out and then go about your day. Don't let it fuck you up, basically. Take care of your shit. Take care of yourself.
I wouldn't make it maybe equate it to jerking it.
No,
Maybe make it a little
masturbation,
fun.
boy. This is about self care, motherfucker. Okay, take care of yourself.
Right, but I don't know. Have I really? I don't know. I guess I haven't
Do
been
it.
that horny yet. Where it's
Do
like
it.
I need to jerk it. Like that's
Do
never
it.
been a.
Do
It's
it.
never been a thought of like, man, you know what I need to do? Jerk it right now. Like that's never been. It's always like a
Okay.
spur of the moment thing where it's like, ooh, you
Sure.
know what? Got some
Mental
time.
health should be the same way. Just like, man, I should really take care of this. These voices. I gotta get out there. Like,
All right, well, yeah, maybe. All right, I got some free time. Maybe I'll schedule in a session.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
okay. If
Make
you see
it
it like
just
that,
as casual. Like, oh God, I'm not feeling too good. I'm just gonna go talk to someone. Just
there
make
you
it
go.
just as casual and easy. Like you said,
Procrastinating. That was something that was something that I would do for sure. I got
I
a
like
fucking
that.
18-page paper. Let me just rub one out real quick.
Jesus Christ, dude, procrastinating. I have to steal that. Can I write that down? I mean, that's just so
It's a
goofy.
term that already exists in the modern vernacular, I'm sure. But that was a big thing for me in college. Shit.
That's funny.
Like, I don't want to write this. Let me go on the hub for a bit. Do a little surfing.
Fucking A, dude. All right, come on.
This is that not safe for work tag, everybody. Here we are. All right. So we're getting to that one game. Cetty, I think I've been talking too much. You go.
Okay.
You start your one game.
All right, let's see. That one game. Where are we at in the show here? All right. That
Do you hear
one game.
Mabel
So,
just losing her shit in the background?
what is she doing?
She's going after like these keys. What are you doing? Man, whatever. All right, sorry. Go.
All right, so the game that I have this week, I want to go back because you hit me with the nostalgia trip on the last one,
Ooh.
and I was playing a game that I really enjoy, and I had to think to myself like, why do I like these kind of games? What got me into these kind of games? Where did this start? What is the origin of this shit? And it brought me back to a game that I used to love. I'm curious if you've ever played it. It's called Lost Planet 2. Have you ever played Lost Planet 2?
I have not.
Oh my god. This is an old PS3 Capcom game. Um,
Okay.
and you talk because you were talking about quality, quality. And when I think of a quality game, I think of Lost Planet 2.
Oh,
That
okay.
game is fucking phenomenal. It's so much fun. It's a sequel to a kind of shittier game. Um, but what they do to it and the storytelling, the way that they tell the story is just top notch. You start off in this kind of like military organization called Nevik, and you see that they're coming to this planet that is being overrun by all these different factions, and the story is told by you playing as different factions. So you start off playing in the Nevik faction, you go to like this bandit faction, and then you go to these like rebels, and then you go to this other faction, and the story is told in this kind of like piecemeal way where everything is kind of happening separately. But as you get towards the end, the events of the world, it becomes so like world threatening that everyone kind of has to work together at the end to prevent a huge fucking disaster. So that was like cool storytelling to me. The
Okay.
gameplay, it's like a third person shooter. Typical third person shooter, I would say. Cover shooter where you're just, stop and pop and enemies, and you're just out there fucking people up. But the cool thing is you get this grappling hook that you can use to grab onto larger enemies, and they have some huge enemies. I'm talking like Shadow of the Colossus type shit. You can actually climb on shit, hold on to it with the grappling hook while you're just shooting into its back. I mean, like it really does have a great sense of scale, and some of the boss arenas are just. I mean, look, I'm suggesting
How have
this
I not
game,
heard of this game?
dude. Lost Planet 2. It
What
is.
year? What year did this game come out?
This game came out in May 2010, May 11th,
2010. So what was I playing?
2010,
I was playing Red Dead, probably. More than likely, I
probably.
was just probably lost in Red Dead. So that's
The game has multiplayer as well. We can have 4-player co-op in the missions,
damn.
and dude, it is. Look, there's. I'm gonna say this is like a precursor to Gears of War as well, like
I was gonna say
because
even like Elix. Have you played Elix?
I've not played Elix. Is
Elix
that
has got that same type of. There's a guy that has to go through the world, and he goes into like three different factions, and like it's the same type of stuff. I thought that's what this was going with before, but no,
okay?
this predates that, so that's crazy.
Yeah, Lost Planet, dude. They did such a good job. There's a mission where you have to like you basically have to get eaten by this giant bug. Okay, so in the game, there's the enemies are called Acrid, and because the planet is like, it's supposed to be a frozen planet, it's supposed to be an ice ball,
Okay.
and the creatures eat this shit that they turn into thermal energy, and so the citizens of the world have been, killing the creatures to get their thermal energy so that they can survive on this planet where you will die like instantly if you're trapped with no thermal energy. So yeah, the story kind of goes like the people who are coming to the planet to like tame it, they want to just suck out all the thermal energy from the planet and use it somewhere else. And they create this like crazy monster that you end up having to kill. But the game is wild, dude. You end up fighting like hundreds of enemies at a time. Like there's these huge fucking creatures that you can ride around on. You can actually they have power armor, they have mechs, there's gunfights, like it's just a great game, okay? Like if
Did
you've
they
never played
remaster it for the PlayStation 4? Because at this point, like, I don't know if I can go and dig up my PS3 from the basement, but like,
I
oh
think
damn.
I think they have it on their little premium streaming thing for PlayStation right now.
PlayStation Now or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's on there. But oh man,
Damn.
it's
Because
a
now
great game,
I'm like, I need something to play.
dude.
This
If you
might be
play
the
Lost
thing.
Planet, you will not be fucking disappointed. Lost Planet 2 though, Lost
Right.
Planet 2. The first
2.
one kind of weak. The third one, it just it got bought and sold and it became corporate trash. But the second one, oh my
Mm,
god,
yeah, we know how that goes. That's the same thing
yeah,
about. I love Mass Effect 2 the same way. Where it's like Mass Effect 2 versus 3. Like that was 3 got too
yeah.
complicated and it was all just fucked up.
It
But
got
yeah,
too
no,
up its own ass, and they tried to do some different shit, and it was like, this is not what we were hoping for.
yeah. Sometimes the second one, folks, is where they get it right, and then
Yeah, the sweet spot for sure. And I would say Lost Planet 2, the boss fights, my guy. You're gonna see some shit. Like I was just watch a video on it just to see if you're into it, because I mean it's a very good game. It really is. So
that's dope. Yeah,
that's
no, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out at some point now.
one of those fucking bangers, dude. Old school, cool, in my opinion. Since it's 10 years old now, 12 years old at this point. So
Right? Jesus,
I know. All right,
we're
so yeah,
dating
that's my
ourselves
game.
here.
That's my game. That's the one I'm trying to get people to play, check out. A little bit of gaming history there for you. Pick up something new. Try out Lost Planet 2.
Hey, that's a nice little endorsement. I could get behind that.
All right, what about you, sir? What you got for us?
All right, let's go back to the year. I think it's like 2006. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little kid, just graduating, or just I'm in 8th grade, or I don't know if I graduated yet, but it's something around that time. But I remember that Christmas I got a Wii from my mom, or my grandparents got me a Wii, and then my dad side got me a PS3, and I was like, holy shit, I just hit the fucking jackpot. I got 2
Yeah, you
fucking
did.
consoles for that's the cool thing about divorced parents, folks. Like, yeah, there's a lot of trauma, but you got like fucking, if you're lucky, you got like 4 to 5, and if they got remarried, you could possibly multiply that to like 6 Christmases. So like,
Jesus Christ.
you know, that's the thing.
Uh,
It's like, yeah, you're gonna have some generational trauma, and you're gonna have to fight some demons growing up, but you get a lot of Christmases. So it's like there's a little bit of that. Anywho, that's
Hey,
besides the point.
gotta look at the positive spin, I guess. All right.
Right. Hey, it made me who I am. Right. So
Sure.
I remember though, before I got those systems, I would always be playing PS2 or something like that, and just my stepdad, who I'm wearing his ring, and I consider him more my dad than my dad, um, because he's the nerd that brought out the nerd in me. He was playing Morrowind and Oblivion.
Mm.
So yep, going back to sucking Bethesda's dick, and I would just sit
Well,
there
they don't
while he
make
was
bad
playing,
games.
and I
Jesus.
was watching him. I was watching him, and I got to ask a bunch of questions. Why was he doing this? Why was he doing that? Like, and he was, giving me like the just little tidbit factoids about the game here and there. I remember even like the strategy guides that we would have. Remember going buying those things, the Prima
Hell yeah.
guides that had all the mission structures, the inventory. I would love sorting through because I love lore. So I would love just sorting through all the stuff. I'd had the book out in front of me while he was doing the missions, and I remember I would like help him out with some of the missions, or I'd be like looking up like the level system, like what level you need to be to get this sword, and I just love that shit.
Yeah.
And then finally, I get my PS3, and Johnny Boy gets me. That's my stepdad. He got me Oblivion, and just thinking back to what you're talking about, what was that one game that kind of got you? And it's like, yeah, I mean, I started playing, on like, I guess like the Super Nintendo, like the early consoles. I started doing stuff on that. My babysitter's house, or like at a friend's house at N64 playing the GoldenEye. You know what I mean? Or the Zelda. That was, yeah, every
Mhm.
kid had that, but I
Right.
wasn't big in it. But what got me into it? Like, yeah, I played PS2 with Kingdom Hearts, all that shit, blah, blah, but when I think of just what you were saying, it might not be quality because like it was.
It's a Bethesda game, so
It's a
quality
Bethesda
is.
game. I will say, but here's the thing. Here's a game where I could. This is probably going to be my longest ever talking about a game, because going into Oblivion, did you know that in the beginning when they were doing testing for the game, like, yeah, the very minimal testing that Bethesda does do for their quality assurance,
Hmm.
their AI, they made it too smart at first.
What?
Their
What does
AI
that even
was
mean?
too real to the point where people started fighting over resources,
Oh
and
wow.
towns would just be like, they would have their own factions that would set up, and they would just fight over the food and the money and the shit like that. So like the game would literally play itself when you were out in the world doing shit. You know what I
That
mean?
sounds more
Versus
fun.
like,
What the fuck?
yeah, well, they weren't prepared for that, so they had to dumb it down a lot to where you had the thing. So
They got
yeah,
scared of their own ambition.
they got a little too ambitious at that point, and but then it goes to show why maybe that's why they kept it together so long. But also, like, Bethesda, fucking, they knew all this shit, and they knew that there were gonna be modders, and they kind of the way that they develop games is they know for a fact that someone's gonna come in and do shit with it.
For
So they
sure.
kind of don't really put in that much effort
Which
sometimes,
is
I
why I
feel
think
like.
they keep using that same fucking engine for so long, because
Right.
they know what
Because
they're doing with
there's
it. Their people are familiar with it. It's easy to mod.
Yeah, they're like,
That's
why pay our staff when people are gonna do it for free? Like, that's their
that's
mentality.
fucked up, but okay. You might be
Well,
right.
that's besides the point. But just the atmosphere, the music, like, that's one of the very few game soundtracks where, like, yeah, Skyrim was a great soundtrack. Don't get me wrong. There's still some Skyrim tracks that I love. Like, whenever you see like a video on YouTube, or a reel or some sort of like social media thing, and you hear like the Skyrim music in the background, like, I kind of laugh. But for me though, like, just the Oblivion soundtrack was something that I could put on and kind of be at peace with. And I was supposed to talk to my buddy Goose about this because he loved Oblivion too, but I got to miss that trip, so I'm talking about it now. Fuck it. But yeah, just the soundtrack of Oblivion, the systems where you had to like before they dumbed it down for everybody, where you had to like focus on your armor, and your repair kits, and your hammers. You had to make sure that everything was tip top shape and this and that, and it
Yeah,
kind of like made you better gamers to the point because it kind of hardened you, because like when you take out the whole thing for Skyrim about like the durability for weapons, like, okay, it's kind of user friendly now and easier for everyone to like. But at the same time, it's like you do take away that whole app because some fucking
Yeah, you
dude
take away the
that
hardcore elements. That's what it
it's not
is.
even a hardcore element though. It's more just like, okay, I need to if I'm gonna walk into a dungeon, let me not just have that sword but another sword on me just in case. Or now like I have to struggle through and I'll just pick up one of their weapons. You know what I mean? Like it just makes it like a really so much you're not in you didn't turn into that one dimensional, Aragorn just slaying the whole orc army with his one sword. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like you really have to like, oh shit, this weapon broke. I got to pick up this one. I got to do. You know what I mean? I liked that aspect of the game. I kind of nowadays at least I was able to see the merits of that type of system. But
Of course, man. It was a much more engaging system back then. And yes, you're right. They did dumb it down, and I do think they did it so that more
accessibility,
casual people
sure,
could come. Yeah, for sure. Like that's just part of it. They want to appeal to a broad audience these days. That's the goal of gaming, is to get more people gaming.
right. And I feel like it's almost kind of like Goldilocks for me, where you got Skyrim for the baby bears and then the Papa Bears, like my stepdad and stuff that were playing Morrowind. You could even there's a big leap from what they did from Morrowind to Oblivion, where they dumb shit down
They
because
did.
like Morrowind had different gear pieces for like individual hands, legs, arm, like you could wear robes over. So like they definitely dumbed down the system. So I feel like they dumbed Oblivion was that my just right, not too
Right.
hot, not too cold. That was my thing. And ever since then, and that's why I kind of love New Vegas. I feel like the same way versus Fallout 4 or Fallout 3. Same type of thing. It was that just right in the middle. But yeah, but for Oblivion though, it's the reason why I wear my ring on my index finger because that's where the character wore it. You know what I mean? Like that's why I have a lot of that type of connection to like the Lord of the Rings stuff and the nerdy. I have a long sword and I'm doing Hema shit because of like that type of fantasy type environment and shit. Like yeah, history's cool, but like I just said, I want to go to hell and Doom guy it up. Like Oblivion was kind of like one of my first experiences to do that with like, you know,
In a
I
fantasy
got to
setting.
go through the gates of Oblivion into a hell type experience,
You
kick
did.
ass, and you know what I mean? Like it's yeah, wow, I didn't even realize that was gonna come full circle to that. That's cool.
No,
But
it's
see what I
true
did
though.
there? Holy shit. But yeah, no, like Oblivion was that game for me where just everything was great. Even like Jeremy Soule, the composer that the music I talk about, something he got into a car accident, like a really serious car accident, and they like about like a third of the way through doing the soundtrack, and he said that he slowed it down and you could kind of like hear like where the music started like picking up and becoming more soulful because he learned how to take life more differently or seriously or whatever the hell.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? There was a whole lot of things about that game that it just hits
That
me in
made
my
it unique and
little
special for
baby
sure.
feels for me,
I
just
mean,
because you
hey,
got the
Oblivion.
nostalgia, you got the open world aspects, you got the just rightness of the difficulty, you got you know what I mean? It was
I think the
perfect.
exploration in Oblivion was better than Skyrim, to be honest with you, because the world just sucked you in so much more. You got to see the white gold tower. There was just a lot more magistry, like a pageantry, and like you know, things were just laid out in a better way that made you want to explore everything. I don't know what it is about Skyrim, but maybe it's because I just played it to death. I don't know. Maybe I just feel like I know where I'm going in Skyrim at all times, and I kind of felt like the exploration was much more organic in Oblivion, and I think they had better dungeons in Oblivion too. Like the way
It's
that the
funny you
dungeons were laid out.
you could see how they did because I learned that in the dungeon like the dungeons all kind of look almost the same ish, but they're not procedurally generated. People went through and they made each dungeon, but they did it kind of the way that they gave us the Vault DLC for Fallout 4. They had individual pieces that they were able to snap together
Right, the tile
to
sets.
make the layout of the thing. So I was like, "Oh wow, like literally the vaults." Like when I learned that, I was like I'm thinking about how we were able to do that with the creator when we
Mm-hmm.
started doing shit. And I'm like, "Oh wow, like we're Bethesda really got lazy. Here, do it yourself, fuckers. Like we're really not gonna."
Oh well.
but
No, it's
early
a good one.
Bethesda though, when they were still, I feel like they had that soul when Todd wasn't sniffing his own farts and paint and shit. Like, yeah, man, Oblivion was where it was at for me. Like that's my
Dude, I
one
feel
game.
you. I played the shit
That's
out of that game. I did. I was more into just, I mean,
I've
my wife can tell you this. I would get my hands on the game. I'd start over, like make a new character. I'd go through all the little what gods and what abilities and my build, and I would pick weapons, and I would get up to a certain level. The problem with me was I never was able to get through the game without slaughtering everyone. Like I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I must be a sociopath because there would just be a point where I'd be like, I just have to kill this person and see what happens, and I would just end up on a killing spree, running for my life from guards,
Bro,
just
that's
murdering
normal. You
people.
never you never save scummed it before? You never heard that term? Save scumming. That's a thing. It's a
Um,
literal thing where you would save the game. Fucking, but that, what's it? Fallout 4 made it worse by being able to quick save right, like in the middle of a conversation. So that they completely made it the worst because, like, I feel like any game where you could save like, I'm guilty more so. So don't feel bad, Cetty. I did this 10 times worse than you did. All right.
hmm.
So don't feel bad. Like I would make sure to if a quest wasn't going the way I wanted to, that whole town was wiped off the map. And then I would reload the save and then continue on there forth. It got to the point where
Hmm.
there was like in New Vegas, my buddy Mike, so my Mike, my brother, he's essentially my brother, but he's like my best friend. He's gonna get a kick out of this because I'm gonna tell a fucking Fallout story now. So him and he would come over the house after he would get out of training, and he trains Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu and all the MMA type stuff. He really we started in Tang Soo Do together, and then he started doing that, and I went a different way. But yeah, he would get out from training, come over the house, stop by. We'd move the furniture around. He'd kick my ass for like, he would show me what he learned at training, and like I'd get my ass handed to me for a good hour and a half, and then we'd start gaming. And we're bullshit college. Yeah, we're around college time. This is happening, so like I'm still living at home. My dad would walk in and be like, guys, stop being so fucking loud. It's almost midnight. What the fuck you doing? I'm like, yeah, okay, Dad, sorry about that. But yeah, I just remember we would go through like our most infamous moment was at the King's Hotel in New on the Strip. Where there's the Elvis
Right.
knockoff
I
folks.
do remember that one.
Yeah, him and I probably one night, and this is before we were even like hardcore drinking or smoking. We were just two young, sober, just dumb kids. Would fucking just rampage through the whole King's Tower, not giving a fuck, reload the save, and then just pass the controller off. So we would take our turns and be laughing maniacally at how we would just be lighting these fuckers up. It was it's so horrible that, like, if you think about like what we were doing, because we sound like fucking psychopaths, but
I
it's so
know.
fun. The best moment though was this one moment where, because when you do VATS and they were able to send out the projectile and you could sometimes see the bullet itself.
Hmm.
Well, this one poor motherfucker, I forgot if he had the controller or if I had the controller. But we were clearing the halls and we turned the corner and there was a king that came up. We're like, oh fuck you! Did the VATS headshot 95%? Send it. Fucking it showed the grenade launcher shell leave the grenade launcher and go right into the dude's face and explode. We probably woke up the whole house. We were laughing so hard. How stupidly funny just that shit was to
Oh
us.
man,
Like,
Vats did
oh
make
man,
some great fucking moments, didn't it?
yes, for sure. Like
Fucking
if we
Vats.
could if you Seti could make it, like I know they did Sky Oblivion with the mods where they took the Skyrim assets and they just put the whole world of Oblivion into it.
Wow, impressive.
So yeah, so if you could figure out some shit like that to incorporate all like the best parts of the Bethesda games, but not make it be a Bethesda game, please, please, please,
Hmm. We'll
Mr.
talk
Game
about
Developer.
it. We'll talk about it. We'll think of something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
All
man,
right.
that's me. That's all I got. That's my nostalgia trip.
No, it's good. Oblivion was fucking amazing. Let's just be real. I mean, you keep saying, "Oh, we're sucking Bethesda's dick," but they make games that let people explore and they tell decent stories. They keep it interesting. They keep it fun. I don't think they're that bad. I think people just give them a lot of shit. I don't know
Well,
why they
you
just
could look at, the laziness of the design teams, doing their not giving a shit, letting us do all the work. You could look at that. That kind of leaves a bad taste in the mouth. You see how the constant, like, this world map is 20 times bigger than anything you've ever seen before, more detailed than, and it's just like, this is just a bigger Fallout 4, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Just the whole, there's a lot of shit that I feel kind of just like the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my God, they're kind of just like, get rid of Jerry Jones, get rid of Todd Howard, fucking, like, just bring some new life into the fucking all
they
the people
did. They
that
got bought by Microsoft. That's the new life now. They got a budget now. They got some serious backing behind them, and I'm sure if they fuck up, they will rearrange that whole fucking studio and just take those IPs and give them to people that actually care about them. So I'm sure Todd Howard is, his butthole's tight now. He's got to impress somebody, like it ain't just about putting it out to people who are gonna mod and fix their fucking games. Like Microsoft is the eye of Sauron looking at them like, hey, you better deliver, homie. Starfield looks great, but you better deliver. Don't fuck up. Like,
you better put Skyrim in Starfield, God damn it.
oh god. All right. Let's go to the next roll, bro. Let's
All
do
right,
that.
brother. Let's do it. 9. That's funny. Giggity.
Okay. Number 9. That is converse with one person, dead or alive. What are you thinking?
You really want me to take the point on this one?
Sure. Go for it.
All right, one person, dead or alive. Well, you know me. It's I just want to go to hell for my one place, and it's like, if I could talk to the one person, it's kind of like, I would want to talk to, I don't know, whoever made this whole experience.
You want to
I
talk
don't
to
know.
God?
I don't know if that's a god or if it literally is some nerdy fucking programmer. Because we're living in the Matrix type, whatever, simulation,
Sure. I've
reality,
heard
whatever
it.
the
I've
hell
heard
we
it.
could think of. But like, yeah, no, I would definitely want to talk to just to be like, yo, because you got all these, and I know this sounds so fucking cliche or whatever the fuck like that, but really, like, I want to be able to, because you know me, I want to take apart a brain and put it back together without getting arrested. So like, let me pick the dude's brain to be like, okay, there's a lot of shit. What's going on? Is this real? What the fuck?
Is this
Like,
real?
because like, I battled a lot of that, where like the whole nihilism, like nothing matters, just gotta do what you gotta do, whatever the fuck. Like, I just want to know, because even if there is, and even just let me talk to the guy I get the answer back of there's no one like that. That gives me my answer right there. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
just being able to figure out like all the bullshit in my life that I subjected myself to, that just happened to me out of circumstance. Like, what the fuck is it leading to? Like, really, like, is there something or is there not? Or am I just trying to,
So
like,
you want to
there's
talk to
so
the
many.
person with all the answers, huh?
Yeah, I really do. I want to figure all that shit out, man. I'm just too
Are
goddamn
you sure you
curious.
want all the answers? I mean, that's a large responsibility, man. Like, what if they tell you some shit you don't like? What then?
I've been hearing shit I don't like my whole life, and that's
Yeah,
shit I've been
but
saying to myself, and then
I
so I'm
mean,
kind of I'm
that's
kind of ready at this point. I'm ready to, because I'm trying to make something of myself now. I'm trying to make sure that if I do go tomorrow, I could leave behind a legacy of something. Like,
right.
there was this one thing that they made us listen to in um, college. It was a first year experience type class. It was a guy named Randy Pausch, and he did the last lecture. And he was like, I forgot, Carnegie Mellon was the institute that he was teaching at or something like that. But it's a sad, partially uplifting story where this guy, he knew he had a terminal illness and he was dying, but before it got really bad and and he was about to go on his sick leave retirement bullshit, he did like one last lecture, and that was supposed to be like his what he learned everything up to that point, and it was meant for his kids. So then when they're going forward, they have something to hold on to, and something that was the lessons imparted by their dad that can't be here anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So like that kind of hit me because like when one of my good friends passed away, like one of my brothers, like he was fortunately a little bit of a up and coming YouTuber, and
Mm.
so there's footage of him still in existence
Well,
where he's
that's
talking, and I
actually
get to
pretty
hear his
cool.
voice. I get to, you know what I mean, and just shit like that, you know, and fucking, there's still voicemails that I'm never gonna delete of my dad, or you know, and there's voicemails that I deleted from my grandfather that I wish I kept too, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But just the little bits of memory. So like even for this thing, like I'm trying my best right now to like leave a legacy of like, okay, like if I'm trying to do good and I'm going tomorrow, let this be something good that I leave behind versus the, you know, because you know it
No, I
might
hear you,
not make a
man.
difference or it might make all the difference. I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna
I
make a
don't know.
difference. I'm not
No, no,
worried
I'm
about
talking.
that.
I'm talking about like, you know, like in the grand scheme of things, like
No,
you know,
I am
if
talking about the grand scheme of things. I plan to make a difference. We don't. We're coming hard at this. We're pushing hard to make a difference. I'm not content with just, you know, kind of just doing enough or just getting by anymore. I think it's time to stand up and get my hands dirty, roll up my sleeves, slap some people around, make some phone calls. You know, I'm ready to be much more active. So yeah, and I'm bringing you with me. So
okay,
get ready for it.
hey, I'm ready for it. But you
Good.
know, that's I guess in a very just yeah, leave the spec to say the either outlandish or very vanilla milk toast response of, you know, I definitely want to talk to the guy that's got all the answers and just pick his brain because
That's all right. I hear that. That's a good one, I suppose. I mean, keep in mind you're talking to a heathen, pagan atheist here, so like what you're saying is insane to me. But hey,
yeah,
I get
listen,
it
I know enough to know that I don't know jack shit. So like,
for sure.
if I die and I go walk up to them gates and I'm greeted by a giant fucking frog, I'd be like, yeah, this checks out. I'd be like, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't have a fucking, you know, crisis of faith. That I'd be like, all right, this is cool. Like I fucking like, I'm open to it, brother. I'm open to whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean? I just want to know. I'm just curious. I really am. Like, just give me a reason to be here that I don't or that I'm not already making up for myself. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I'm sure you can think of plenty of reasons, but I get it. Uh, I don't know, man. How do you follow up? I want to talk to God. I mean, that just seems like.
Well, the same way you followed up how I want to doom guy through hell, you could do it.
I mean, everybody wants to talk to God. I mean, everybody wants to know. That's like one of the biggest and most difficult, deepest questions that people struggle with on a daily basis. Of why are we here? Who am I? Where am I? Like that's that existential crisis shit that everyone's going through. That's the human condition. Everyone wants to talk to God. I mean, whether you want to cuss him out or suck his dick, either way, like people want to just fucking be there and know the
I want to
answer.
shake him. Why? Like,
Sure, that's what I'm saying. Whether you want to kick his ass or fucking, I don't know, cook a meal for him, whatever. Like people just want to know. They want the answers to the big questions. So that does make sense. Everybody wants that. I get it. I'm not.
if I had more time, I might have thought about a more, I guess, credible answer, but that's fine. That's what I'm
No,
going with.
that's look. That's a good answer, bro. Honestly, it's not. It's not a bad one. Um, man, for me, I mean, I know this my answer might even be worse. Like my answer might even be worse because my answer is I want to talk to myself in the future. If I could have a phone that could just like I could pick it up and on the other end would be me, except like 20 years from now, I'd be like, yo, what
Oh,
went
you're
wrong?
trying to do some Biff Back to the
Yeah.
Future type shit.
So
Give me
back
the
to the
lottery
future.
numbers. Give me the lottery numbers,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Like I would want to know like what went wrong, what went right, what do we need, what did we lose, what do you regret, like what's coming, how can I make it work? Because
Okay.
I'm so focused and determined on making this shit happen and work that you know, it would be helpful to me. Or you know what, even being able to talk to myself like ten years ago from now, like I would want to give myself that knowledge. That's, and again, like you're saying, this podcast is part of that, trying to impart that wisdom and trying to give, you know, that perspective to people, outside of our bubble, and trying to give them a little bit of hope and some understanding, like that. I'm right there with you, dog. It's just maybe I'm a little more selfish because I just want to know what the fuck I need to do to make the shit happen for everybody. Like I'm not sure if talking to anybody else is gonna help me do what I need to do. Like it has to come from within. So I have to motivate myself. I have to get the knowledge to myself somehow, and I'm the only one that knows how. And wherever I was or wherever I'll end up, it will be useful to know that. So I don't know. I guess I have to live as if I'm going to be there, and I have to keep moving forward and working hard like it's coming. What I want is actually coming. So that's my answer, which it just sounds a little conceited now that I'm kind of like.
No, I mean, like it is it in a way it's an interesting concept because there's. I was about to ask you like, what about paradoxes? Would you be afraid of making that to? Because I feel like at least when it comes to the past, and you could chalk this up to just bullshit mumbo jumbo, but I feel like you kind of gotta go through the shit in the past to be the person you are today.
Right.
You know what I mean, like I going through all the suffering and the pain and the good and the ecstasy and the orgasms of the depression, the heavy
Sure.
drinking, the drug use, the hope, the
Whatever people
the
are going
sorrow.
through, it does make you who you are today. That's true.
Like it really is. It's needed. And
But here's the thing, though. I wouldn't be worried about paradoxes because I know myself. I am me, and I would not tell myself something that would fuck me up or create some type of like, or take something away from me. Like I know that I would set myself up to be what I was. You know what I'm saying? To be what I would become. Does that make sense? Like I
no,
wouldn't
it's
I wouldn't fuck myself up by trying to like, erase some huge thing that made me who I am, because then you know, I wouldn't be where I
well,
was
who's
if
to
I
say
didn't.
though? Because you know what I mean. Like, we got a lot of. How am I gonna put this? Like, it's almost like we don't want to give ourselves too much credit and say we know we're gonna be we know how to do this. We're gonna be able to know better than I feel like it might take a couple of tries to what I mean because
That's the point.
I
I don't know.
I
That's why
feel
I
like
want to
I
talk to
feel like
myself.
the little bit of momentum that you make now, you could just drop a little bit of, without even you realizing, you could drop a bomb on your previous self, and you snap to it, and next thing you know, you're fucking, you're really in a weird situation. I mean, I don't know, like it's because I've never put much credence into that of talking to myself type thing because I never thought I had anything important to tell myself. But well for now, no. Like I could see because like I said, I'm coming out of that that dark spot, and it's would I be able to you know if I was to go back to my former self and be like, yo, listen, kid, like I know you're going through a lot of shit right now, but when you hit 30, don't worry about it. Like I don't know, like I don't know if that's gonna make my mental state worse or better by the what I mean. Like, I have no
Hmm.
idea. Like, or even just like what would I tell? Like, because I feel like everything I would tell him, like at first would be like, oh, tell him who wins this, tell him how this, this is the lottery numbers for the state, like what I mean, like
Right.
this is a
The
bajillion
Biff.
dollar mega million whatever the fuck it is, like
You
here's the
pull a
numbers, kid.
Biff.
Yeah, like it's so hard to resist that temptation to do, but what could I successfully impart to myself that would be able to help me without completely changing who I am as a person?
And
You
that's
know what I
why I
mean?
would
Like
want to make that call. That's why I would want to have that conversation, because I want to know what it would be.
to the future versus the past, right?
either way, like honestly, either way, I would love to have. I mean, yes, right now because I'm facing the future so much and I'm trying to get something done, I do want to talk to my future self. But again, if the phone rang and it was just like, "Hey, this is you 10 years ago," I'll be like, "Bro, get ready." Like either way, I think it would be interesting. So I guess my answer for the one person I would want to talk to is me. That
Well,
just
Sonny,
sounds
what if
dumb.
you do? What if you make the no? What if it's like you make you because you're deciding this, right?
Right.
So what happens though if you make the phone call
Mhm.
and they don't pick up?
Damn. That's harsh, man. I just hurt my own feelings. Like that's
It's not even that. It's
oh,
what if
God.
you're not?
What if I'm
What if
dead?
you're?
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, bro. Like, what if no? Like, what if you're not there to answer? What
I
if?
mean, hey, I guess then that's just what happened. But I mean, I'm not trying to
How would that
control.
change? How would that change your viewpoint then? Like if you were to say, okay, I'm dialing in like a 10-year time gap. You know what I mean? And you put the dial up, you only get one. You know what I mean? You only get one dial. So it's like, all right,
Right.
here it is. You do it, and then it's caller not in service or whatever the hell like that. You know what I mean? And then so what is that? How would that now?
I mean,
Kind
I
of like
don't
the same
think.
way. Like if I figured out like, hey, I want to talk to the maker, and I find out there is no maker. Like how? Like okay, that would give me the answers all I need right there. So like, what would that do
Mhm.
for you then?
I think I don't think it would change much. I think I would just keep doing what I was doing because this is what I want to do. You know? I don't think it would change too much because I do have a goal and I do have a plan. So I would probably stick to that.
Yeah, that's
Like
good, man.
I already
That's
don't know what's going to happen, so that's what I'm
yeah.
doing.
So it
Like,
really wouldn't. So it really wouldn't change much then, right?
really wouldn't change much, no.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I look at the shit. Well,
All
that
right.
was that was informative and interesting. I think a little weird.
Uh, yeah, definitely the weird, for
The
sure.
weirdness coming out today. On what I thought was going to be a rather benign question, honestly. I kind of was like,
Well, we are
sure.
getting more comfortable. We're doing this. Like I said, I'm learning to give less fucks. So for me, this is a great experience for me to just like, all right, really just let loose. Don't care. Just say what you
For
got to say.
sure. For sure. All right. What do you think? You want to go to the next one? Next,
Yeah, we got that story to tell, Cetty. So let's hear your
that
story,
one
brother.
story. Oh man, my story, dude. I was torn between two stories, honestly. Um, and I think I'm gonna go with the more gamer related story, just because we are gamers versus the system, and in a way, this is where gaming kind of meets the system in my mind.
Okay.
And so the story is like this: Destiny. We don't like Destiny. We hate Destiny. They ruined microtransactions and completely destroyed, you know, our idea of what DLC could be and turned it into like this greedy, horrible product. But you know what? It's a game that people play and enjoy. I understand. They made a good world. They got some great guns. The gameplay is fluid. It's co-op. It's got some things going for it.
They definitely
So
nailed the combat for sure.
yeah, I will say that the gameplay is top notch. I mean, Bungie does
Satisfying headshots.
for
Just
sure.
that haptic feedback, whatever you want to call it.
So the thing is, there is a company out there called Aim Junkies, and they make cheats for Destiny too.
What?
And yeah, they make cheats. So you've seen this shit: wall hacks, seeing through walls, auto aim.
Okay, got it. So
Yeah,
yeah, that got it. That's
yeah,
okay.
they're trying to fuck up Destiny's whole shit. And Destiny actually tried to file a lawsuit against Aim Junkies and said, "Hey, you're fucking up our game. Please, cease and desist fucking with our shit." And they actually lost the case because the argument that the angle that they went from at first was, you're infringing on our copyright because this is our code and you're manipulating our code. And Aim Junkies was like, actually, this is all original code. It doesn't have anything to do with your code. This is our product. We sell it. People buy it. We actually make your game more popular by selling cheats. Suck a dick and go away. And they won that case. Now, of course, obviously, Bungie, they got tons of money, lots of lawyers. They refiled under you reverse engineered our product, and they're trying to go again. But the fact that they lost to the cheaters,
it's kind of inspirational.
you say inspirational. I say, I hate cheaters, dude. I do not want my games to be ruined by some fucktard, some chuckle fuck who's, yeah, I'm gonna fucking win this game. It ruins the game. It completely destroys the fucking game.
No, that's without a doubt. You are right about that. They are destroyed. But for them to come out on top over so when you see that, I heard David versus Goliath.
Sure.
And for me, that's, I don't know why the fuck I'm so biblical all of a fucking sudden. Jesus Christ.
No, go for it.
But no, I the big evil. We're this company. We're all about doing this. Blah, 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 we have all the lawyers. We could just outbid you, because you know how it works with corporate lawyers. Like if they want to put something, they'll just wait you out because they got the money. So they'll just keep dragging that trial out, even if you have the winning side. They'll just keep dragging it out until they bankrupt you, because they know that's how they're gonna win, and to force you to concede till you tap out. And But seeing that, even though a shitty company, it kind of gives you hope that, okay, so if we just know how to go about it, it's kind of like, yeah, the wrong team won in a sort of respect, but we gotta look at the fucking game footage here, though. There's some lessons to learn how we could mobilize our own sort of effort, but to go against them in a sort of way later on down the line. So that's
you
where I
say
see
David versus Goliath. I say host versus parasite. That's how I look at it.
Okay, that's another.
Game junkies are directly just a fucking leech on the side of their head, just sucking out blood, life, thoughts, energy. It's really sapping their ability to create a fair and fun game space for everyone. They're fucking
and then I feel like
up.
they should, and if Bungie / Microsoft, no, it's just Bungie now, right? Because they departed from all that bullshit. Activision.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah. So my feeling is just make it more do your job then. Do your job.
And that's I conveyed this story to a friend, and that is exactly what they said. They're like, well, Bungie controls the game. They should make anti-cheats. They should ban the people that are cheating. They should be more proactive and, making sure that the game is the way that it's supposed to be. Which, again, I hear what you're saying, and you're not wrong. I do think they need to buff up their anti-cheating. I do think they need to be more proactive in banning accounts. And I do think they need to get more involved instead of just trying to, slap a lawsuit over a problem and hoping that it'll go away. But at the same time, we're talking about their intellectual property. As someone who's about to start making games, a fairly involved kind of system in a game, if someone decides to try to fucking hack my shit and fuck my shit up, am I not going to have any legal recourse to try to stop them? Am I going to is this just something that we just have to live with now? I don't know. It really just throws everything into question for me. I don't appreciate it.
Come correct to the situation then. If someone, let's say you start your whole bullshit, and then someone's coming and try to fuck with you, and if you could actually pinpoint where it's okay, I'm doing every measure that I possibly can, but now I'm seeing where it's everywhere they constantly put you in check. It's well, it's not game over. There's always one more thing you could fucking, you know what I mean? That's what we always try to preach. One more thing you could do.
True.
And it's just if we could figure out so maybe not so much we're going to ban them in terms of, okay, we're going to prevent them from doing this because of whatever fucking reason. Be like, okay, we're going to bet on the surface of like, all right, whatever surface they're using is detrimental to the, and you could make the case of like, all right, this isn't just so much for us. What is this capability of if it falls to the wrong hands? So it's like we got to think about like if you're gonna fight the fight it all the goddamn way.
Yeah,
Don't
but
just be
that's the
like,
thing
yeah,
though.
well, it's hurting my little business. Where it's like, well, okay, it's
My
hurting your business.
little business,
How's it going to hurt everyone else though in the
bro.
world? And
Here's the
how is the
thing:
negative repercussions on that? And it's, yeah, no, they
if
have the right to the freedom to go about and doing their own thing. But how is it we gotta at least show them like, okay, here's where you're fucking up, here's where we're fucking up. I'm gonna start doing this. I mean, like, there's a conversation to be had,
there's
not
a
just ban
conversation,
them, fuck them.
definitely.
That's it. Just
No, I say
ostracize.
ban them. Fuck
You
'em.
know what I mean?
I don't like cheaters, man. I'm sorry. I cannot take them. I cannot stand them. It ruins the game. There's a good.
Well,
There's
but
a
here's
game.
the thing. But why? But why are there? It's the same thing. It's like, okay, well, why is there those people to begin? Because there's clearly something wrong with the. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if
what's
the
wrong
game,
is they don't.
if
They
the game
lack the
was good,
skill. What? No, stop. We're talking about aim bots, wall hacks, seeing through walls, shooting through walls. You've seen the footage of people who are just like, using these fucking aim bots to just like shoot people across the map through shit, looking at people through geometry, like really just ruining lobbies completely. You make the game fucking unplayable. And look, I'm not saying this happens every time, but we've seen it. We've seen what happens when hackers come in and just
so
decide that you're on fire now. Fuck you. It
so
doesn't matter.
you didn't ride with me and Dom back in the Red Dead 1 days, did you?
I
No,
didn't
you did
know.
not. So let me tell you a story about what we used to do. So there was
Now
this one
keep in
thing me
mind
and
what you're
Dom
about to
went.
say is only possible in that game, but continue.
True, but here's what we're talking about here. There was a glitch where you could become invincible. And in the free roam lobby, where you're trying to hang out with your friends and do some shit, have an invincible asshole, it's kind of a bad time. But they only figured out how to make you invincible while you were wielding a tomahawk or something like that. Like you didn't have any firearm capabilities. You were just unkillable. You could still kill someone, but you had to really get up with them. You know what I mean? To fuck them up. So somewhat kind of fairness, but still made shit a pain in the ass for people who just want to go and not get trolled by people like that. So when we figured out there were people doing that, we kind of banded together as the community of my little posse of gunfighters that I came up, our pre-rise almost days, where I had my team assembled. I sent half the team to go and distract him, while the other one of us went to go to get the explosive rifle that would come up in the like other gang hideouts that were on the map. So we would do the gang hideout, get the explosive rifle, and the explosive rifle allowed you to reset the fucking dude.
All right. Pretty cool. Out there
Right?
fighting for justice, fighting for fairness. That's great. But when you're playing Call of Duty Warzone and you just spawn in and you get sniped instantly by someone who's like 20 miles away from you because they're using an aimbot, there's really like it's a different game, a different scenario.
It is a different
And
game, different scenario, but now here's my thing. Why are we worried about, okay, they have the access to this bullshit where it's like, well, we make the game, or you make the
yeah,
game. So it's like, how about you put in an implementation where it's like, okay, instead of, all right, now we know that the cheater's there, not so much that, okay, you want to cheat? We'll let you fucking cheat. But then it's, so like put countermeasures involved, not so much to where like, okay, like just ban the people outright, but it's like, okay, if you want to have those people, make them to where they have to keep evolving because we keep evolving.
well,
To
here's
where
the
it's like,
here
okay,
look, this is what I was trying to say before, dude. You don't understand. Okay, first of all, I know it seems like you said David versus Goliath. You think Bungie just has an unlimited amount of money, but no, their money goes towards making games, not cybersecurity. Okay, like they want to make games. They don't want to spend their life fighting hackers. Yeah, sure, they could throw money at the problem and hope that some third party can come in and build some type of system that, but they would have to keep throwing money, shoveling. It's like you're on a train and you keep shoveling coal into the fucking engine. Like you have to constantly keep fucking doing this shit, and that's taking resources away for what could be development, testing, other games, paying people who know what the fuck they're doing to do other shit in other areas that people
yeah,
like
but
you
you
don't
see
get that
companies
money.
like Rockstar.
Well,
Sorry,
look,
continue. I'm
no,
cutting you off.
Rockstar, yeah, they're rich, obviously, but they deal with, I mean, they deal with hacking and cheating in different ways. But the story really is about the legal battle. Okay, like legally, it just seems like now you can legally cheat. Like, and there's no recourse. You can just build something, attach it to someone else's product, and just make money off of it by being like, yeah, pay me $10 and you can, $10 a month and you'll be able to get unlimited headshots in whatever fucking game you want. Your KD just goes through the fucking roof because you just, you don't even have to play the game. You can just cheat. Like, to me, that's sad because I like playing fair, fun games. I don't like getting fucking, my ass handed to me because some robot is helping you kill me every time. Like, that's bullshit. I don't appreciate that at all.
Well, like I said, it's don't let. The problem is I feel like we're looking at it and it's a we don't know we feel like we're powerless to stop it, but we just gotta figure out that there's more than one way to skin the cat. There's like if we're gonna combat this, like we could it's possible to where you could like I said, we're going for Rockstar. It's like they proved that you don't got to put out a fucking game. Just keep fucking dropping content. People are gonna and fund you. They fucking put out GTA in 2013, almost 10 years ago, and besides Red Dead, the only shit they put out is more DLC. And they just said fuck Red Dead recently, and they killed it.
That's true.
We ain't supporting this bullshit no more. We're just gonna pump all this shit into GTA. Who knows about what GTA 6 is gonna fucking do? But like they able to make the money to where they never had. Remember they had Midnight Club. They had a bunch of other different titles out there. GTA made sure they didn't have to make another game ever fucking again.
Bro,
So it's like, don't talk to me about money. Money's gonna come from just if you give them the product, they're gonna fucking pay the money.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about playing fair.
Right, and I also think, well, yeah, but here's the thing. We gotta, we all right. So here's the thing, Cetty. I'm getting my ass kicked by, let's just say there's a bully, and I'm getting my ass kicked by some bully in the schoolyard type deal. Should I make it to where that, okay, every time now in the future where I feel like there's a bully, then I have to make sure that he gets thrown out, or do I learn how to defend myself? Do I go take a class? Do I figure out, okay, how do I mentally solve a situation before it comes to fists? How do I de-escalate? How do I, there's more than one option other than just, okay, I don't like it, fucking ban it. Where it's like yeah, I'm seeing that there's a way to go about it to where, like I said, like if there's gonna be fucking cheaters, then like okay, everyone else now just level the playing field. We know there's a way to fucking all right. The code, like you were saying, trinary, fucking binary, whatever the fuck's gonna come up at some point where we're gonna be at that advanced to where it's like okay, we detect this in the game. Don't ban them. Let them happen. But now, when that's activated, the whole lobby's like that now. Jesus. Let everyone fucking at it now. If you want to come with it with a fucking gun, we all have guns now, bitch. Well, fuck you. You want to shoot up this fucking mall? What if we all have fucking guns? What are you gonna do now, pussy? Do something about it. Oh, this is the only way you can fucking game. Well, now I'm fine. Now I'm just as good, and I can kick your ass because fucking now I can fucking see through the fucking wall just like you can, you little fuck. Think you're gonna do this sort of shit? Yeah, I say let them learn the lesson the hard fucking way. And then that's the thing.
I don't think you've taught the lesson that you think you taught. I think you just, you just need a bigger gun. And now that becomes the arms race, That becomes the arms race of who can do it better, bigger, faster, and harder. And then everybody's fucked. Because now we all got to have, some type of nuke version of cheating so that you can never be cheated more than the next person. And you have some kind of, peace through strength type of shit. Like, okay, let's not, bring out the ultimate cheats. Let's just play the game. Like, no, that's
more so. What I'm saying is, it's not black or white. There's not my way isn't 100% correct, and I feel like the other way of banning it outright isn't correct. There's a middle ground that we could meet.
I want to know what game you think you're gonna cheat in. That's what I want to know. Like, what game do you want to cheat in? Tell me about it. What game do you want to cheat in? Let's hear it.
Life.
No. I've said a game, fool. Like, let's, some console, some mobile, some fucking PC game. What is it? Which one is it? What game have you decided that you want to try to fucking cheat in? Because you're advocating for cheating right now. I mean, let's just be real. You are. You're saying don't ban it.
Yeah.
Just make it worse. So what game do you
Yeah,
think would
I'm
be?
saying okay, if they think that the only way that they're gonna, because like I said, it comes from somewhere of people feeling like, oh well, I'm not that fucking good, so I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
they
pay, and
suck.
like just the same people who literally paid to hack their accounts to make sure all about the clout to where they had their remember the worst thing that they did was fucking make the KD public in GTA, Jesus Christ. And like remember there would be people that would pay to have their accounts hacked to show that they had like a 58 KD. And
True.
it's like, yeah, you're garbage. You can't fucking hold up to that shit. The only way you can do it is because you're fucking hacking. So it's like the same way. It's like
But don't
if
ban
you're
those
I
people.
don't have
Let's all get our fucking KDs up to 58 to make that person feel stupid, right? That's what you're saying. Like that's what you
yeah,
just said.
essentially. Yeah, go for it. If this you think this is the way you're gonna do it, you think this is really the way you're gonna do it, kid. All right, fine. Well, now we're all like that. How does that make you feel now? Instead of the kid
But
actually learning how to
now,
get
hold
better,
on. Like I said, now it turns into an arms race, and it doesn't even like it doesn't even become about GTA anymore. GTA is no longer GTA. Now it's just KD hack the game because
I
that's the
mean,
only
GTA
thing
is
that
no
we.
longer GTA anyway,
Bruh,
Cetty.
stop. You know what I mean,
GTA is no
okay?
longer GTA
Stop.
because they moved away from the
Stop.
whole we gotta
You
have the
know
cars, we
what
gotta
I'm
have the shit. Now
trying
it's
to
all about
say.
the nuclear, the orbital cannon. Did we
Stop.
need an orbital fucking
Stop.
cannon, Cetty?
You know what I mean. If you make the game about the cheats, you detract from the game itself. Like whatever GTA has become, at least it is still maintained and controlled by the people who created it. If you allow the cheats to run rampant, then the game becomes about the cheats. Like it doesn't matter what game it is. It could be Fortnite, it could be Warzone, it could be whatever. If it's all about if I can get the highest cheats, the best cheats to give me the best KD and I win every time, like the game is no longer the game that it was when it released. Now it's just the hacking game. Like it, it just like I want people to be able to play fair and fun games. I don't
Well,
want
we're
them to have
also
to.
assuming that we're gonna that it's just gonna go into oblivion to where we're gonna log in. I shoot you once, your console explodes, and the disc fucking flies into your head.
Look, that
You know what I mean?
it
Like
doesn't have to be
that's
that bad.
not.
It could
No,
just be
I'm
an
not saying
unfair
that's.
playing field.
I'm saying that, like I said, my way isn't perfect.
No, I don't
It's
think
not.
it's
I'm not.
perfect at
I'm not
all.
trying. I'm not trying to advocate it for being perfect, but I'm saying that it's a better alternative than just saying, "Well, that person needs to get banned."
Bro, I'm so confused right now because you really think somehow making like making cheats more prevalent is going to solve the problem.
I'm saying there's a happy medium that could be talked about if we figure it out. Because I'm, like I said,
What
I'm at one.
game do
I'm
you
at
want
one
to cheat
extreme.
in?
I
You
don't.
are.
I'm not. Here's the thing. I can't really think of one right now. Because what? Because like I
Let
said,
me
I'm not
get
really
this
that big
straight. You just want
of
to
a
be
gamer.
free to cheat in the future if you decide to. If you decide you want to go in and fuck up someone's day in some fucking game, you feel like you should just be able to do that just because. Even if it's someone else's, like you think, hey, you know what? Fuck you. I'm just gonna put an extra card on the table. Fuck you. I'm just gonna pull out an extra chess piece right now and put it on here. And if someone's just like, that's cheating, and I'm like, fuck you. You think it's cheating? Flip the
Yeah,
fucking
and then,
table.
but well,
And
that's what I'm saying. And then give the other person an extra piece too. Like
what?
make it
How?
because that's
But
making it
then
fair. Then
oh wow, that's making it fair. You literally ruined the game, okay? It's no longer chess. If the rules do not apply to chess, if you can just put pieces wherever the fuck you want, what what's the fucking point? I mean, come
yeah, well,
on.
like I said, they're the one that wants to do the whole thing first. So if they're gonna
Yes.
do, I'm not saying I'm not
No,
doing it.
you're
I'm not
advocating
going
for
out there and doing
ruining
it.
the game. That's what
I'm
you're
going
doing.
out there for defending the people who want to play the
How?
game right by giving them the same tools that the other people have.
They want to play the original game. They don't want to play the fucking cheats. That's the point.
Okay, well then here's the thing: you can make a lobby that's you know what I mean. There's ways to get
Unfortunately,
there's not just
the way the matchmaking set up right now, you don't have that level of control. Yes, I could buy a server and make my own GTA lobby where we all have mods and people can, role play and do this other shit. Like, yeah, that exists. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. But guess what? People go into those lobbies and cheat too. Like, there's not really a good way to control this shit when you're playing like an open multiplayer kind of game. If you're in Warzone, you don't know what 99 other people you're going to get matched up with. You don't know if it's going to be fair. You don't know if it's going to be a level playing field. Your suggestion is to just give everyone the cheats. Well, then it's no longer Warzone. Like I said, look, for chess is a perfect example. If I can just pull up a piece and put it on the table whenever I want, and my opponent can do the exact same fucking thing, how will we ever know who's better at chess? Because we're no longer playing chess. Now we're just playing put pieces on the board. Do you understand? Like, you completely negated the game of chess by trying to turn it into something that it was never intended to be. That's the point. Like, it's better to stay true to the fucking game because that's what people want to play. I don't want to play.
But then also, if it gets to that point, then just don't play the game.
Wow, really? That, as a gamer, I mean, I am just offended right now. I am. I'm not gonna lie. You're pissing me off, Spec. Why are you saying these things? You know, cheating ruins games.
I'm just talking about honesty at this point, where it's like, okay, if they feel like they need to cheat in order to get by, then make it to where it's impossible to cheat for them to get by, because then if you're gonna play dirty, then we're all gonna play dirty, motherfucker. That's how I see it.
Yeah, if you like to run red lights, fuck it. Let's just turn all the lights red and let everyone just guess. Like, that's the best way to go about it. Rules, regulations, nah, fuck that. If one person runs a red light, everybody should just blow on through. We all can do it. Yeah,
you know what I mean, I'm not saying that for real life. That's not how real life works at all.
Yeah, no shit. Come on, my dude. Like, this is insane.
But I'm saying that for a video game? Yeah.
No. What the fuck? I don't want to. Look, if someone's just putting pieces onto the board and they don't belong there, they're cheating. And don't cheat. Listen, okay? Do not cheat. Everyone listening.
I mean, yeah, that should be the main message to get across. Yeah, don't cheat. But if you are going to cheat, you're fucked. Sorry.
What?
Like, if you are going to cheat, then we're going to make it just as bad for you. We're going to make it worse for you if you decide to cheat at this point. Because we're the video game developers, and we could not by banning you, but by making your experience. If you feel like your experience is only going to be good because you got this unstoppable fucking thing that I need to assert my power over these digital avatars. Well, it's like, all right, well, we're going to assert our fucking power over our digital avatars too, and now everyone's got the fucking abilities that you fucking brought to the session.
Oh my god.
Now is it fair?
No.
Because now it's fair. Everyone's got the same. If you walk into the whole thing, we all got it. Now it's fair. Now let's see you fucking pull your bullshit, dude. Now I can fucking headshot you from across the fucking map. What are you going to do about it now? They're going to stop playing the game. And then when they leave the session, because they are inevitably just rage quit out the fucking session, then it goes back to normal. And then we all play the game like we used to.
Wow.
That's what we did for fucking Red Dead. We stopped whatever the fuck RP or whatever the hell we were doing, whatever gang hideouts we were doing. We would stop that, go fuck up that one dude. They would leave because they get frustrated because they couldn't handle it. I paid for the, oh my god. Yeah, and then we kicked their ass, sent them out of the session.
Red Dead, I will say this, that situation was cool because in Red Dead it provided a unique opportunity for you to punish the person that was cheating. Awesome. Okay.
They gave us a tool.
Ability. Yeah.
They gave us a tool to be able to counter.
Not intended, obviously.
But there was so many other glitches that we weren't able to counteract because people were sniping from across the map. But here's the thing: I changed the session, so I said, "Fuck that."
Okay, I mean, yeah, obviously that's one way. But if it keeps fucking happening over and over again, it starts affecting the overall community in a negative way, and people.
Right, and I'm saying, Cetty, we got to get better too. If they're gonna get better, we got to get better too. And
no, I agree
just
with you.
Banning them outright isn't us getting better. That just says that we're gatekeeping.
Yes, the same way that we are gatekeeping. It's our shit. That's what a gate is for. Do you want somebody walking into your gate and taking things out of your yard? That's what a gate is for. Okay, it's to keep people from doing certain things. Don't come in my gate, okay, with your bullshit. Obviously, that's what gates are made for. Like, yes,
yeah, don't bring your bullshit here. And if you do bring your bullshit here, we got more bullshit than you could ever fucking handle, kids. So I'm not saying that we gotta give it to what's it called. We don't gotta.
All right, we're moving on to your story
Call
now.
of Duty. No, I'm just saying, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
If we can make it to where some kid feels like he has to do that, then it just should be. Okay, then whatever team deathmatch, whatever the hell it turns into, now it turns into everyone versus that one kid. And then give everyone else a fucking badass fucking weapon that's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's ways to make it reasonable. I'm not saying to fucking make it extreme, like add just put 20 fucking chess pieces on there, but you can give one extra chess piece and make it interesting. Yeah, it's no longer chess, but they don't want to play chess to begin with, apparently. Because if they did want to play chess, they'd fucking play chess.
Bro,
But they're
like,
not
I
doing
think
that.
you're a little bit confused about the motivations of people that cheat. Like, I really do think you're kind of giving them a pass, and I don't know why. I'm not sure why you think it's better to team up against them and try to do some weird kind of justicey type retribution shit. Like,
That's
I-
just, I mean, is it right? I don't know, but that's from my experience, my past experience
yeah, your
of,
Red
of
Dead has
dealing
warped
with.
your fucking brain. That's what it is. That experience,
I
that
mean, you could say
whole
that, but I mean, Cetty, I'm trying to be open, and I'm trying to be, because, like I said, I'm not saying that I'm right 100%. I'm saying that this is my way of viewing it. There's
right.
definitely a better way to do it, but don't be fucking thinking that I'm the worst person in the world right now because I just have a differing viewpoint. That's the whole reason why we start the pot, because we hate people like that think that
Okay,
don't want
but
to give someone else a fucking chance. Like, I'm trying to be as fair as I can be, where it's like, yeah, no, I know I'm
you
not
think it's
correct about
fair
it
to allow
100%.
cheating? That's the thing, though. Like, I mean, that's my point. You think it's fair to allow cheating, which is an oxymoron. It doesn't. It
Well,
doesn't.
no,
It does not
because am
compute.
I allowing? But I'm not allowing the cheating at that point.
You
Because
just
then,
said don't ban them, let them cheat, just cheat more than they cheat, and then out cheat them
yeah,
and create a
just
cheating
beat
type of
out
game
me.
where cheating
What
is
did I
all the
say,
game
Cetty?
is.
We're only gonna beat them by being better than they are, and that's it. That's the only way we're gonna beat them, by being better,
I mean,
by
I
being
don't know,
better
man. I
people,
think
by being better. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, just that's life. You only win not by, you know trying to make sure that they can never get a crowns, like, or making sure that they don't even have a they can't even
what
show up to the fucking
a
area. It's like,
crown
just
that
be
they
better.
cheated to win. That you
No, I'm
think
saying
me
you just got to be better.
denying them a crown that they cheated to win is
No, I'm
somehow
saying that they're
worse.
not going to get a crown if they're cheating to win, is what I'm
Yeah,
getting at.
but they do. That's the point. They
Yeah,
do.
now that's how it works now, because there's nothing put in place to counteract it, because people think it's easier to just fucking strip all the rights away for people
Oh
versus
God.
just like letting some people just fucking do what they want to
You
do.
want people to have the right to cheat. Like, I can't agree with that. That just seems bad. It's a bad idea. Don't cheat,
I mean,
guys.
I
Please.
don't advocate for cheating, but I'm saying if you're gonna
You are
cheat,
literally advocating for cheating.
just know that everyone else is gonna do some fucked up shit to counteract it, and that's where I feel like would bring a little bit more, quote, using very vague air quotes here, a balance to it. But like I said, I don't really believe in just we need to just straight up execute whoever the fuck disagrees with us. Like, that's not how this is gonna work out. In the end of
Wow.
the day, we got to come
Yeah,
to an
let's
agreement
let's
here.
sit down with the cheaters, and while they're trolling and teabagging your dead body, you're trying to have a conversation with them, which is real nice, but they don't care. Like, you're on the wrong plane here. You're not down in the dirt with them. You're looking at the situation from a different point of view, but that's not what they're there for. They're not there to help you. Want to? I know what you want. You want to pick apart their brain, and you want to say, well, why, little Timmy? Why do you feel the need to come into this lobby and headshot everyone and ruin this fucking game from everybody? Well, why do you want your KD to be so high? Well, what is it about this game that makes you feel like you need to win all the time? Why can't you just take an L occasionally? Why does it hurt you so bad that someone's better than you? Why do you have to cheat to be the like? I know you want to sit down and have some type of fucking Dr. Phil Oprah moment with these assholes, but it's not gonna. They don't care. They're literally lolling at you the whole time you're talking, teabagging you, flipping you off, and just following you around, shooting you every fucking time. Like, I understand your point. I do. I know you think you
Yeah,
can like help these
and
people improve their lives, but they're not there to be
I
helped.
say if
Okay,
they're gonna do
they're
it,
only
then make
there
it
to
worse for
smear
them to
shit
fucking exist.
on
If
what
that's how
someone
it's gonna
else
be,
built. That's
if
all.
they
That's the
can
only
only
thing
get
they want
joy
to
by
do.
being
Like,
that power
that's
hungry
their
piece of
fun.
shit,
That
then
is the
give
fun
everyone the
for them.
power to
They don't
fuck
want to
them
play
up
chess, like you
and
said.
just
They're
drive
not
them out of
there
the
to play
lobby.
chess.
That's all you
They're
gotta
there
do.
to put extra pieces on the
Just
board
get rid of
and
them. I don't
shit
know what
on all the
happened,
guys who worked
if your
hard
audio cut
to
out
learn
or
the
what's going
game
on with you
and
on your end,
master
but
the game and
I
play
just
the
lost
game
Cetty, folks.
correctly and
So that's
do
a little technical
and take
difficulties.
their
I'm gonna
time to
pause
and
this for a
enjoy the
second.
shit and are
Oh, here it
passionate
goes.
about it.
Hold on,
Like,
Cetty. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on.
hmm,
I lost you for a good probably 10 to 15 seconds of the audio.
oh shit, I'm sorry.
It's
I
it's
don't know
it's
what's going
okay,
on.
but we just lost you in a rant, and I'm so sorry. Good. Um, if I don't mind hearing out, you could go back if you don't mind.
No, I have no idea what the fuck I was saying. Anyway, let's move on to your story because I'm done with this story now. Okay.
My story was
Yes.
well, my story is a you're definitely not gonna like this then.
Oh God.
So let me just read to you the article. So I chose this article mostly because like the date that this event happened on was at the anniversary of our show, like the August 1st. So I don't know why I've been kind of gravitating towards because like August 1st is when they released the Black Flag or they released the bourbon, and now this is when they're you know this is another event. But this story takes place in 1946 though, folks,
Hmm.
and this is about a local municipality that was kind of like the boss tweed, like the political machines type deal, like the whole thing, the corruption of the government and the whole fucked up. They control everything and they have the power. They do whatever they want. There's no checks and balances. So there's essentially a little town in, and people probably already know where I'm going with this. There's a town in Tennessee um, that was getting fucked over by this local municipality that just because all the GIs were at war at this point. So everyone who stayed behind, they extorted the hell out of them. They made sure that elections were rigged. They would, do.
So this was like a company town or something? Is that what...
No, this was a straight up just regular town
Hmm.
that through just people, greedy assholes that just want to make their own little kingpin type legacy. You know what I mean? They thought they could do what they want, and for a long time when the boys were at war, they did. It got to the point where they were just like I said, they would pull people over for random infractions, and they would just arrest people just because because they weren't the people weren't paid salary. They were paid by how many people were arrested. So like I said, there was a bunch of systems that were put in place to kind of cultivate this type of toxic environment in the government. And so eventually, when the GIs got back home, they were like, "What the fuck's going on?" Because they were starting to get the persecution even worse because they were seen as people that were, competent. Like, they came from war. What the fuck's going on? We left. It wasn't like this. What happened? We came back, and now this is all corrupt and bullshit. Like, it was kind of bad when we left, but now it's 10 times worse. What the fuck's going on? And so, because they had no one to keep them in check, and so eventually, what ended up happening is all the World War II vets that returned back to the town were getting severely fucked up with there were I think even a few of them were murdered because of they were
Murder.
trying to start. Yes, because there were. I read in one article where there were I think two GIs that came back that were you know, and I think this is when they came back like on a leave, not even they came back for good from the war. They just came back and it was all about just some maybe what are you doing? Calm down. Yeah, they just we don't like them, fucking kill them type bullshit. I wasn't there, but I can't say. But from the articles that I was reading at, like yeah, they're mostly that was what was going on. Just corruption. They were it was literally like a movie, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, this can't be that bad. I guess it was that bad. But eventually, all the GIs banded together, said this is fucking bullshit. And on the night of August 1st, 1946, they took the power back,
They
and
took
they
the
did
power
so.
back.
Yep, they got all their shit. They got they got their firearms. They got their Molotov cocktails, their dynamite, whatever they could grab, pitchforks, torches, all the shit that they were. They rallied the community up, and they were like, "All right, guys, like this is some bullshit that can't persist. Let's go do something about it." And off they went. And there was severe rioting, and I'm not advocating right because we see how like the bad side of it with the past, during the pandemic, where it was like businesses are getting destroyed, lives are being ruined for the sake of just it didn't need to happen. So I'm not advocating for this, but the story it struck a chord, kind of just what we were saying here, where it's these people they banded together and they took down the local government.
Wow.
They were able to ban, and there were lives lost. Unfortunately, it was literally they called it the Battle of Athens because it took place in Athens, Tennessee, and they called it the Battle. And it's funny enough, one of the the bad guys, his last name Cantrell. So I asked him, I was like, Cantrell, are you anyway? And he was like, I know where you're going with this. I'm not flattered by that question, but it's possible. And I was like, wow, Jesus. But
That's
but
funny.
yeah, no. So anyways, the event ended by they threw dynamite at the local jailhouse prison door, and they blew the door open, and because that's where they were all holding up, and they were able to, you know, get them out. There was some fucked up shit that went down. A lot of people did flee. I think Cantrell did flee. Um, but Mabel, what the shit? Whatever. I'm not even gonna worry about it. But so, anyways, yeah, they band together. They did what they had to do, and they fought back, and they won. So, and then after that, the whole thing came. The media went nuts with it because it was like, oh, these fucking people, because it was people going against the government. So of course, the government with the
Hmm.
papers, it's always these people were terrorists, fucking horrible people, but they weren't telling the side of, yeah, well, these people were pushed to the limit of they weren't able to live peaceful, healthy, successful lives because they were literally getting the shit. Their livelihoods were getting bled from them by the second in that town, and so there was a bad situation. They fought back. They won, and I'm not saying that it was right how they did it because people lost lives, and I'm not, I'm all about peace these days. But just like I said, Cetty, banning stuff and just shutting people out. It's like that. It leaves no room for the people that are going to do the fight and want to stay in the. No matter what, they know that the fucking thing's not right. But if you give them the tools, I feel like, because like I said, Red Dead wasn't about going around killing the fucking glitchers, but when that happened, we had no fucking problem stopping our cowboy bullshit and mobilizing our fucking unit and going to town to do what we had to do. And so, yeah, I am clouded by this whole idea of we can fight back. We can make things fair if we just are all on the same playing field. Because, like I said, the cream will rise to the top. It's kind of like trial by combat at this point, where it's like,
Yeah, the
if you're
cream
right
will
and
rise to the
you
top
got the better.
unless some of the cream is cheating, but let's not go there. Let's talk about this insurrection that happened in this town. Um,
So do you,
you
if
know
I
what?
so I can read the whole article that from
Well,
taken from the
if
Tennessee
you want,
Encyclopedia.
go for it. But
Just so we have it says it's a 2 minute read, and I don't think we have any fucking problem doing that. So officially, the Battle of Athens in McMinn County began and ended on August 1st, 1946. Following a heated competition for local offices, veterans in the insurgent GI Nonpartisan League took up arms to prevent a local courthouse ring headed by State Senator Paul Cantrell and linked to Memphis political boss Ed Crump from stealing the election. When Sheriff Pat Mansfield deputies absconded the jail with key ballot boxes, suspicious veterans took action. A small group of veterans broke into the local National Guard armory, seized weapons and ammunition, and proceeded to the jail to demand the return of the ballot boxes. The Cantrell Mansfield deputies refused, and the veterans, now numbering several hundred, opened fire. The ensuing battle lasted several hours and ended only after the dynamiting of the front of the jail. The surrender of the deputies did not end the riot, and the mob was still turning over police cars and burning them for hours later. Within days, the local election commission swore the veteran candidates as duly elected, and the McMinn County veterans had won the day in a hail of gunfire, dynamite, and the spirit of the Corps. The Battle of Athens stands as the most violent manifestation of a regional phenomenon of the post-World War II era. Seasoned veterans of the European and Pacific theaters returned in 1945 and 1946 to southern communities riddled with vice, economic stagnation, and deteriorating schools. Undemocratic, corrupt, and mossback rings and machines kept an iron grip on local policy and power. Moreover, their commitment to the status quo threatened the economic opportunities touched off by the war. Across the South, veterans launched insurgent campaigns to oust local political machines they regarded as impediments to economic progress. In Athens, the Cantrell Mansfield ring colluded with bootleg and gambling interests, shook down local citizens and tourists for fees, and regularly engaged in electoral chicanery. While communities such as Knoxville, Oak Ridge, and Chattanooga boomed, Athens languished, and veterans returned to a community beset with more problems than opportunities. When Cantrell and Mansfield employed their typical methods to nullify the veterans' votes and reform efforts, the ex-soldiers resorted with the skills and determination that had brought them victory overseas. Although recalled 50 years later, with a certain amount of local pride, the Battle of Athens initially proved a source of embarrassment, and many residents abhorred the violent, like I'm doing right now, and extra legal actions of the veterans. There could have been a better way to do it, but the image of gun wielding hillbilly ex soldiers shooting it out with the Cantrell Mansfield thugs, because they did hire thugs. They hired like an army of 200 thugs that they swore in as deputies that blazed across national and regional newspaper headlines, enhanced East Tennessee's reputation for violence and lawlessness. The Good Government League, empowered by the veterans' victory, scored few successes in its efforts to eradicate vice, corruption, and arbitrary rule of machine government. Nevertheless, the Battle of Athens exemplified the Southern veteran activism of the post-war period and defined the disruptive political impact of World War II. And so, like in the last part, it's like they did what they had to do. It didn't bring about the success totally in the end that they wanted to, because they didn't go about it the right way. So like I'm saying, like there's a possibility to do it, to fight back, but you got to do it right. And that's what I'm trying to advocate for this. We got to do it the right way. And like I'm saying, just to touch back on the whole thing with the cheaters, there's a way to combat them, Cetty. There's a right way to combat them. I don't have that answer because, well, I don't have that answer yet because I'm not familiar with the technology. I'm not familiar with the development of that sort of thing. And I know you are more so than I am, but I would like to definitely talk to people who could program stuff like that and see, is it possible for an idea like mine to where it's like, okay, like I said, it's an isolated incident where a hacker comes to a Call of Duty lobby, that hacker gets fucking thrown out of there, not because, oh, you're doing your fucking bullshit, but more so now everyone's got your shit, buddy. Like, what are you gonna do now that it's really fair? Because you're coming into a situation and making it unfair, and now everyone else has got it, and now it's fair. So, what are you gonna do, big guy? So that's where my mindset is behind that.
Right.
Like I
So
said, I'm not correct. I am not correct. So don't think that I'm trying to spread that my way is the highway. Like, no, I'm an idiot. So I will say that, there's a way. I don't know it, but it's possible, I feel like. And if there's not a way, then there's no sense of arguing about it, and I should just kill myself because there's no fucking way to make it better other than just an outright just fuck everything, just fucking just shut it down from the start, and just I think that there's everything we could do more. It's always possible.
We could do more. Okay. So this story immediately makes my mind jump to January 6th.
Okay.
Was that your intention? I'm just wondering, did you make that connection? Did you think I would make that connection? Or
no, because like I said, I don't pay attention to anything that comes out because history shows that facts are going to get distorted and we're not going to learn the true things until decades later on the line. So whatever went on January 6th, either it was Trump literally pulling the strings because, like I said, we're either going to give him credit for being a mastermind manipulator or he's a dumb fucking asshole. And what are we going to do about that? I don't know. History will tell. And at this point in time, I don't know. I don't know anything about. I just know what.
I was gonna say, do you think history told everything about this uprising in this town here? What was it called again?
The Battle of Athens.
Yeah, the Athens Battle of Athens,
Tennessee.
Do you think history has told everything that everything has come out about that situation? Do you think that everybody got a good handle on what happened there? Like,
to this day, I would say no, but ... more so than at the time. Okay. Because at the time, you just have journalism. And like I said before, journalism is all about getting the story out. And like I said, then they're going to spin it to where they're going to spin it because they got to sell the thing. So especially nowadays where we know that if we turn on Fox News and we turn on CNN, we're going to get two different fucking stories about the same goddamn story. And and both of them aren't correct.
We're going to get two different commentaries on the same story, but the story remains the same.
Right.
We're going to get two different...
Yes. We're going to get two different
angles on the same
hints
fact.
Of the... Right. But until we could pick... And everyone's going to have their own speculations. Everyone's going to have their own theories. Everyone's going to have their own, who's pointing the finger at who type deal. But just like... I just look at it through Vietnam's perspective. Like, the whole thing of, we were shouting that it was all this was how they fired upon us. The whole thing with the I forgot what the name. This was before Operation Rolling Thunder. The whole thing, the Bay. There was a ship that they said the ship was attacked by a little fucking PT boat from the Vietnamese side that that turned out to be all bullshit. But we came up with that story. So it's like I know throughout just by seeing it in history that we lie all the fucking time. As a country. as
That's
just
true.
so I'm not gonna be so quick to jump and just be like, it was this. I know with 1,000% of a doubt that this is how it went. No, I don't. I fucking that's how Alex Jones is in the situation he's in because he's doing the same shit. You know what I mean?
There
Like,
you
so
go.
I'm not taking that stance. I'm taking the stance of I don't know. It might happen. I don't have a fucking political science degree. I did well in political science classes, but I don't have a fucking degree on it. I'm not watching every media outlet talking about January 6th, so I don't fucking know anything about
Right.
any of that sort of stuff.
Right.
So I'm not going to defend stuff, and I'm not going to accuse anything either. So because it's beyond my field, it's
So
beyond my
then,
depth.
what is your take on this uprising that happened with these veterans? Like, you say they did something, but it didn't work. But there's a better way to do what they did because they all got together and tried to change things.
Correct. Correct. I see that we come so close to achieving greatness, but we always fuck it up by killing somebody. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? We come so close to doing the pacifist run, but then there's just people. It's shit like that that taints the story because from what could have been a really awesome way for everyone to show up and get the press to come out and fucking really show like what I mean the the right way. That's just me being fucking illiterate,
Freudian slip
but
there.
right, I guess not even that,
It's
but
a
still,
joke.
it's just
Sorry, I'm just
yeah,
kidding. Go ahead.
I don't give a shit. But there is a better way to go about how they went about their business. But the fact that they were able to sit through the bullshit and say this isn't this there's got to be there's some people that was like there's got to be a better way about this, and they did what they had to do, and they did what they knew how to do because they were veterans. So I'm not saying that they weren't learned scholars. Some of them could have been. I'm not saying that I know 100% of the backgrounds of all the people taking place in it. But from what they knew everything that the government taught them essentially. Like this is how you take back a fucking hostile fucking town. You know what I mean? It's like they used the power that they had and the knowledge that they had to implement the change that was needed. And I'm trying to advocate that we can do the same, but we got to be smarter. We got to be better.
Hmm.
And like I said, they
And
came so close. You know what I mean? But the riots got out of hand. People were brutally murdered. People were but at that point in time, like the tensions were at a boiling point. Cetty, like people were, like I said, like losing lives, losing livelihoods, not being able to live prosperously. Like they were just, it wasn't a good time for anybody except for the people who were in control.
I
And
could
so,
say that's the way it is now. I don't see very much difference. I mean, me personally,
but
I don't see a whole lot different.
I'm saying that I don't have these answers, but there's got to be something that's better than this.
I really hope so too, man. I think we just have to, first of all, not go grab guns from an armory. That's a bad idea.
Unless it's like we're being invaded by a hostile country, but that's a whole different story for another time.
Totally different
But
story.
yeah, but yeah, don't. It's violence isn't the answer, folks. There's
Definitely not.
like I said, like
Definitely
all the
not.
times where I felt like it was the only answer because I was only you know impassioned and I didn't think. I just let my emotions take a hold of me, and it's just my emotions went to what I knew, and it was violence. So that's kind of how it is. We need to think more. And
For
remember
sure.
I sent you that quote, Cetty. Remember that was said by Isaac Asimov, and I've been saying it around because it's been my new favorite fucking quote. And it's all about when stupidity is considered patriotism, it is unsafe to be intelligent. The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom, and oftentimes the easiest way to solve a problem is to deny that it exists. And Isaac Asimov said that, and
That
it
is one hell of a
was
quote, for sure.
you can see it today, folks, where stupidity is being considered the patriotic way, where fucking, be part of the machine, be ignorant to our
So,
past. You know what I mean? Just even I'm a
so,
victim of it too because I've come and go with this proud, I know who I am, I know what this is about, blah blah blah. But I'm wrong all the time, folks. And being able to
I've been wrong
acknowledge that
before. I mean,
we
I'm
could be
not scared to
wrong
say
when
I've
we're
been
capable
wrong
of it.
before.
Yeah, we gotta be all right with that. But I don't feel like we are because we always have to feel like we have all the answers. We always have to feel like we know better than everyone else. But sometimes we just don't. And like I said, and now I'm at the point where it's like, please tell me when I'm fucking up. Please tell me when there's a better way to go about it. But you know what I mean? Like I just gotta know because if I don't have the thought, how am I gonna figure it out if I don't have the thought?
For
Or if I'm
sure.
not talking to somebody about it. And I feel like just trying to stoop to their own level, you know what I mean? Like isn't going to work out for everybody unless it comes to where I said my thought process of like making it cheating for everybody. It doesn't have to be that, but it could be adjacent to that concept, or it could be the concept of okay, well, if they're going to do it, they're going to make it. We're going to make it bad for them because all right, let's not even make it to where everyone's got the cheats. But if they're going to implement the code, just make it to where the gun doesn't have any bullets. I mean, like,
That
all right, what are you going to do now?
that's a
Like,
solution. Yeah.
that's a solution. Like, so I mean, like, make it to where if they're gonna do it, let them do it, but make it to where it's not. So now so not only did they cheat and think they could get away with it, they spent money on it, and now the thing doesn't even work. And so now you have angry customers that aren't going to supply those people.
So
So it's like
how?
that's what I'm talking about. There's
Let me
going to
just
be,
take it. Let me just take it back to your story, my dude. In that
yeah,
situation where the government was kind of like, being taken over by the mob, the
yep,
mafia,
hmm
um, in your mind, you say, let the mafia take over the government. Let them. But we just need to find another way around that makes them feel stupid for trying to take it over. Or it's they took it over, but now they don't have any, there's nothing there. There's no there that they can actually control or do anything with. Like, let them have the government. We
Oh no, I'm
just
not
need
saying that at all. I'm not saying that what I was trying to advocate for the video game world. I'm not saying is going to work in the real world at all. Because in that situation, like, yeah, no, that they shouldn't have had that position of power, but we took the steps that we had to do to correct it, or what they felt like they had to do to correct the situation. So
right.
I'm not advocating for mobs running anything.
Okay.
That's not where I'm getting at. But the only thing I was getting at before is that there's a way to combat it versus just outright screaming and banning and all the other shit
Sure.
for the video game world. Because video game world and real life world are two different fucking worlds. That's
Um,
how it is.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have
In
to talk
terms
about
of
that.
in terms of just what I was talking about, like in terms of like, yeah, you can't have the mob rule the government, and you can't have you know what I mean? Like you can't have the fucking hackers, do the thing. But so I'm not saying it's a 1-to-1 comparison for everything. Yeah, there are a lot of things where it's like, oh yeah, you can see that there's a power structure in place, there's this and that, there's bureaucracy, there's everything that involves with the gaming industry or like how a video game is set up. But like, there's no perfect 1-to-1 correlation for everything.
Yeah, but you can still have a principle that can be a universal best practice across, you know, a rule of thumb. That's what they kind of call these things that can be applied generally, that puts you in the right state and mindset for whatever you come across. The golden rules. There can be things that you apply to your everyday life in every situation where they might not apply perfectly, but they put you in the right mindset and they allow you to put your best foot forward when you enter a new situation. Like, um I'm not gonna sit here and try to like get too preachy, but people do try to be principled and have integrity, and they do try to live their lives to try to help people. They have altruism, and they think about charity, and they think they just have a different mindset, and that goes forward through everything that they do. And I think fairness is another one of those things that we should try to get people to embrace and develop and share. So when you're talking about games and we're talking about governments, I think at least there it can come down to fairness. Like, in my mind, those two completely different things should, you know, stand on the pillar of fairness. So I don't know. Maybe
True, but there's
in
also times where you don't want it to be fair.
in a game or in the government or what?
I just mean in life in general. Like, if someone's gonna come at me to try to hurt us, like if someone's like Cetty, like if someone's trying to come and hurt you, I don't want it to be fair. Where okay, stop the fight or stop this whole altercation. You, sir, stand on your side, roll up our sleeves. Okay, shake our hands. Blah, blah. No, it's like I want to have the power to fuck that dude up so he doesn't even have a fucking chance to touch you.
Sure.
Or my dog, or my mother, or my grandmother. It's like there are times where I don't want it to be fair. I want to have the advantage because fuck you for trying to take my shit. And you know what I mean? Like you're gonna come in here and you evil motherfucker. You really think that I'm gonna fucking make it to where okay, sir, you stand over there. Let me toss you my gun, and I'll take one out that's a spare, and now we're gonna go back to back and make it. No, I'm not.
That's how they used to do things. I mean.
Well,
I'm not saying that was a good way. I'm just saying that
was a political type, or when people actually win about it. They used to duel, but these, used to, but dueling isn't around anymore. So like, and no one's gonna come up to you and say, "Sir, I would like your property, so I'm going to duel you for it." Like that's nowadays they're gonna because they're thinking that they're gonna be unfair about that they have the advantage. So now let me say, okay, well now it isn't because you underestimated me, motherfucker.
Right. I get it.
And there's a power to that too. Like I said, there's no 1-to-1. There's going to be times where, yes, fairness is a good principle, but it can't be for everything. Sometimes unfairness is what makes things happen.
Not good things.
So it could be. It could be. If the good people have an unfair advantage over the other side, that's a great thing. I feel like.
Okay. All right, I hear you. All right, well, look, we're at the 2-hour mark. We did not get through all of our content, and I think we're gonna just like take a minute to thank everyone for tuning in and listening. And yeah, this has been a really interesting conversation, a little bit more of a heated debate than just talking about games. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and
I mean, for some of us, it's heated. I was calm this whole time for once.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be angry to have a heated debate. It could be a deep discussion.
Oh, no, Cetty. Normally, if we have a debate, I'm screaming just as loud as you are.
All right. Well, so yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And check us out everywhere. Hit us up on our social media. And yeah, we will see you next week. But I think we should just keep recording.
Yeah, so we're gonna stop this here. So it's like, thank you everyone for tuning in. GVS.cast for the email at gmail.com. Look up GVS Cast on all the socials, or if not, just type in Gamers versus the System. You'll find us. We're trying some new stuff out, folks. We're trying to get some editors involved. We're trying to, we're fucking around with it.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna see.
I'm pulling back my tension and like so need to make it perfect. I'm just kind of letting it happen. So you're gonna
start seeing clips pop up on Instagram Reels, Facebook videos, YouTube Shorts, and probably 10-minute, 20-minute clips of the show as well. So. Yeah, that's gonna start popping up pretty soon here.
Yeah, so we're gonna cut it here for that, but we're gonna keep recording after this, and then we're just gonna
the bonus.
Put that up. Yeah, we're gonna put that up later. You know what I mean? It'll be like check in, back in, maybe because I didn't get to do last week or Goose, or this week, whatever week this is that we're recording. Well, no, we could cut it here and then tune back with us, folks, for the next episode that's gonna come out maybe on Wednesday. All right, love you guys.
Take care, everyone.